when our children receive those 5 promises, they're more successful in life. They're less likely to participate in violence. They're more likely to participate in the community and give back. They're happier and they're healthier. So those promises are important, and the people that we celebrate today help deliver those promises to our youth. So thanks again for coming out this morning. Today, our Master of Ceremonies is going to be Mr. Aaron Perales. Aaron Perales is the Director of Parent and Community Engagement for the Arlington Independent School District. He has been an educator for 18 years, with 17 of those years in Arlington ISD. Recently, he was the principal of Crouch Elementary School. He has been an assistant principal and a bilingual elementary teacher with the district. He believes that an engaged community that directly impacts students is an essential component of a successful learning environment, a successful learning community. Aaron is wonderful. He's new to his position. We're so happy to have him with us, Mr. Aaron Perales.
I've been on the job for 6 months, and one of the things that I can truly attest is that one of the key things that I've learned is that I've learned a reinforcement that the citizens and the groups in Arlington, Texas truly, truly care about children. It has been wonderful to build connections and collaborate with organizations throughout the city so far, and at the root of it is their commitment to the success of students. It truly is an honor for me to be here before you today because as the principal of Crouch Elementary, we were the recipients of grants or awards that are going to be discussed and granted out today. We received grants that affected community engagement outreach programs and student programs. So it truly is an honor to say thank you for that. We'd like to proceed forward with our invocation, and at this time I'd like to introduce Reverend Deborah Crumpton. Reverend Crumpton was born in Selma, Alabama, and grew up in the small farming community of Orrville, Alabama. She received undergraduate degrees in education and business administration with a major in finance from the University of Alabama. After 15 years of banking and finance, which included stints with the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and the City of Fort Worth, she entered parish ministry. In preparation for parish ministry, she received a Master of Theological Studies from the Bright Divinity School and matriculated to SMU's Perkins School of Theology, where she received a Master in Divinity. She began parish ministry as associate pastor in June 2000 and became a senior pastor in June 2004. Her ministry has been in Central Texas Conference, ranging from Arlington to Georgetown and points in between. Through the years, she has received numerous awards and recognition, but her greatest desire is to serve others in ways that transform lives. Ladies and gentlemen, for our invocation, please welcome Reverend Deborah Crumpton from St. Andrew's United Methodist Church.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, come on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, will you bow with me for a word of prayer? God of grace and glory, we thank you for the great privilege to come together on a frigid Texas morning to recognize and celebrate those who seek to enrich the lives of youth in Arlington. As we share in the breaking of bread together, we implore your blessing upon the hearts and minds and spirit of all who are here, that we may be strengthened, encouraged, empowered, renewed, revived to continue this journey of touching the lives of youth here in this city, and let it go beyond to extend around the globe. God, we know that whenever you want to change the world or to do a miraculous thing in our world, you simply have a baby be born. So remind us all that within the youth of Arlington is the next Mother Teresa, Cesar Chavez, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs, or Bill Gates, and an endless list of possibility, because within each child is the potential to be a world changer. Thus, open our eyes and our hearts to discover new paths, new opportunities, that we may continue walking in uncharted territories to strengthen and support the youth here in Arlington. Pour out your spirit in the city of Arlington, that more doors will swing open and a wellspring of opportunity to fulfill the promises of caring adults, safe places, healthy starts, effective education, and opportunities to help others will be made visible in 2014. We pray, oh God, that you will grant that our time together this morning will be inspiring and fruitful for the greater good of Arlington and the greater good of our world. Amen.
As we celebrate children this morning, I'd like to introduce our inspirational leader of our school district. Dr. Marcelo Cavazos started his teaching career as an English teacher in Mission Consolidated ISD in 1990. In 1992, he moved to McAllen ISD, where he taught English and government. He was named the secondary language arts supervisor for Mercedes ISD in 1993 and became associate advisor for San Benito Consolidated ISD in 1995. Dr. Cavazos went to work for the Texas Education Agency Department of School Finance and Support in 1998. He joined the AISD in 1999 as Associate Superintendent for Instruction and served as interim Deputy Superintendent for 7 months before being named Deputy Superintendent in February 2009. He officially became the Superintendent of Arlington ISD on December 6, 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Marcelo Cavazos.
So this morning, it's a pleasure to be here and to just take a few moments to reinforce the fact that in Arlington ISD, our primary task is to serve students. And so when we talk about serving students, it's about helping them not only dream and aspire to greatness in their college or career of choice, in their goals and things like that, but it's our responsibility and our task to help them realize those dreams. And so oftentimes we talk about helping kids dream. Extremely important. And dream big. But even more important is for our staff and our community to help students realize those dreams. And so when we talk about realizing dreams, one of our primary focuses is to accelerate that learning, accelerate their experiences. In the global economy we live in, acceleration is the key. And so in our school district, we're accelerating the learning of students so that they can realize fully their dreams. And so if we talk about an early college high school where 8th graders can go as incoming freshmen, so that in 4 years they can receive a high school diploma and an associate's degree at the same time. That'll open in 2014, about August of 2014, for students in Arlington. When you speak about UTA's and Arlington's relationship where we have agreed, and they have agreed to award our top 20% students automatic admissions to the university. Automatic admissions their junior year. So students that are in their top 20% their junior year get an automatic admissions letter to UTA. And they also get support from UTA for the next 2 years, from counselors and financial aid and things like that for them and their families. And so we know that that's a huge band of students that get automatic admissions to UTA. And so that's a partnership where we're trying to seamlessly make the path to college and career for our students so that they can realize their dreams early. We talk about Firefighter Academy, where students are graduating from high school certified to be firefighters, when a lot of people thought that couldn't happen. They're outperforming the adults in our school district. 4 of those first graduating class students are employed by the Arlington Fire Department today. And I spoke to, I won't give out names or anything like that, but in a recent conversation, they're outperforming the adults. And so when we talk about students entering a police academy that we're going to be discussing here in the spring with APD and Arlington ISD and UTA, accelerating their progress to their dreams. And that's our focus. And so today, you represent a very important part of that acceleration. And so I oftentimes take a little bit of time when I'm sitting there listening to Aaron speak and things like that, to reflect upon this page that has the logos of our organizations in the community. And this is not an exhaustive list, but it's a strong list. And so if you take just a moment when we're doing this to look at this, this represents thousands, literally thousands of adults committed to youth. That's outstanding. Because our work can't be done alone in the school system. We need a community that's engaged. In fact, we need a community that's engaged, and we feel that's so important that that's one of our pillars in our strategic plan is that an engaged community is essential. So when you look at UTA and you look at the chamber and the Y, the Rotary, and I don't want to leave anybody out, the city, the school district, et cetera, thousands of adults coming together in the interest of children. What power. I say often when I speak outside of Arlington that Arlington and the community of Arlington is really the envy of a lot of places in Texas, because you don't see this kind of relationship just anywhere. And so I thank the Arlington Alliance for Youth, Craig, the president. Where are you, Craig? I lost you here for a minute. Wherever you are. There you are, Craig, who has committed to be president for 10 years. I'm kidding, Craig. You didn't commit that. No, he's saying no way. But I think you've served 2 years, right, Craig? 2 years. And so I thank you for leading the effort with the Arlington Alliance for Youth. And I thank Wendy Carrington, where are you, Wendy, for representing the school district in this Arlington Alliance for Youth organization. So on behalf of the school district, on behalf of our 65,000 students, I thank all of you today for coming and being part of the Arlington Alliance for Youth. Thank you.
This time we'd like to introduce the Bowie Salsa Club under the sponsorship of Charlene Sierra. As we move forward in our presentation, we would like to move to the portion where we get to honor and celebrate the presentation of grants. In order to help us this morning with that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Tori Sisk. Tori Sisk currently serves as the Pregnancy-Related Services Coordinator for Arlington ISD. She has served in this capacity since 2001. She manages 2 teen pregnancy prevention programs, Pathways to Success and Crossroads, and also the Pregnancy Education and Parenting PEP intervention program for pregnant and parenting students. Tori has worked with local, state, and federal grants during her tenure with Arlington ISD. She started her career with the district in 1994 as the PEP counselor at Sam Houston High School and worked as a juvenile probation officer for 4 years prior to her work at Sam Houston High School. Tori has a Bachelor of Science degree from Abilene Christian University in social work and a Master of Education degree from the University of North Texas in counseling. She is a licensed chemical dependency counselor, LCDC, and a licensed professional counselor, LPC. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Tori Sisk.
Thank you. Good morning. This is my favorite part because I started my career with grants, and I see so many people in the audience that I know personally have influenced me and helped me along my way as I have dedicated my life to working with students. And so I'm very, very excited that I get to be a part of this. Those of you that are receiving grants today, you will come up on the stage right here on my left. And then as you exit, you'll exit here, and we will want you to stop back here in the back corner so that you can sign some paperwork and receive your honor. On stage today, Stephanie Brown, Steve Wiley, and Cheryl Carpenter from Alliance with Youth are going to join me so that they can congratulate you as you come across the stage. And Mr. Harold Smith will escort you onto the stage. First, I would like to introduce Bridget Walker. She is from the Arlington Alumni Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Delta Academy, and she is our first winner. Her group will be working with adolescents. They will participate in monthly meetings that include computer training, self-esteem and etiquette workshops, field trips for science experiences to the Perot Museum, and college exposure. Jeannie Williams, Arlington Coalition for Education. This project is to provide academic and life skills information and resources to students and families, along with encouragement to aim for success. Yvonne Kiefer. Yvonne Kiefer, she is actually accepting 3 awards today from the Arlington Public Library System. And this is a project that will provide academic and life skills classes to minimize regression in reading skills over the summer for junior high age students. Thank you. We have 3 more from the Arlington Public Library System. Yoko Matsumoto. I'm going to read all 3. They're going to actually be doing 3 separate projects. One of the projects is to support the kickoff for the summer reading program for children 0 to 4 years of age. The second is a storytime program for children 0 to 5 that will be provided to develop early literacy skills and teach parents techniques to support their children. And the Books for Babies project allows the library to reach children from the very beginning of their lives and influence their parents about the importance of early literacy for their children. And Lauren Jacobs is also up here to accept the award. Yes, she is. Thank you. Sharon Robertson Jones, excellent teen choice. Children grades 3 through 6 will receive support and guidance from caring adults and teenagers from their communities through interactive storytelling as part of the Jazzy Joy Book Club.
My name is Aaron Reynolds, and my brother's name is Alvin Reynolds.
Great, thank you for accepting today. Wonderful. Dr. Harrison McCoy Ferguson Junior High. The Ferguson Avid students will be paired with students from Swift Elementary School to research and write a story on the life of a real Texas hero. Karen Bazile, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Kristen Basil from Homes for Children Corp. 100 blessing bags of basic grooming care and necessity items for the homeless will be prepared and distributed. Thank you, Kristen. Victor Perales, Hutchinson Junior High School. Groups will be held to increase academic development and life skills among 8th grade males by addressing behavior issues and building strong character. Ann Terhune, Hope Tutoring Center, Help Our People Succeed. High school students will participate in the Spelling Bee project, which involves tutoring children in grades 3 through 8 in a safe learning environment. Patricia Jester, Roark Elementary School. The Roark Student Council will sponsor a school-wide drive to collect hygiene products for the Safe Haven Women's Shelter and make baby blankets for the children. Margaret Settle, Sam Houston High School National Honor Society. Students will use the funds to beautify the courtyard at Sam Houston High School. Lindy Gonzalez, Turning Point High School. Students will visit the Green Oaks Nursing Home on a weekly basis to assist with the bingo recreation time and build relationships with the senior citizen residents. Dr. Larry Nelson, UTA Department of Kinesiology. UTA will design a semester of service learning for college seniors that will facilitate an outdoor youth leadership program for 6th grade students, emphasizing fitness and nutrition principles. Cynthia Logan, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority. Zeta Phi Beta will provide educational materials, resource information, supplies, and donations to assist families in need. Activities will include March of Dimes March for babies and a community baby shower. And finally, Jose Castro, Seasons of Change. Items will be purchased to feed the homeless on April 12th on Cooper Street in Arlington. Jose is actually Cheryl Watson. Again, let's congratulate our winners. Congratulations. We're very excited to see the work that they do and the accomplishments that they will have. Thank you very much.
For keynote speaker this morning, we are privileged to have Assistant Police Chief Loretta Hill. Chief Hill is married to Maurice Hill. She has 2 children, Jeremiah and Jonathan Hill. She's a member of Bethlehem Baptist Church in Mansfield. She's been a member of the Arlington Police Department since March 1993. She was appointed as Assistant Police Chief for Support Bureau in August 2013. Previously, she was Deputy Chief Assignments, North Patrol Division and Operations Support Division, Homeland Security, Special Events, SWAT, and Traffic. She was responsible for Arlington Super Bowl planning efforts and served as Stadium Commander for Super Bowl 45, NBA All-Star Game, and Major League Baseball World Series Championship. In 1999, she was promoted to rank of Sergeant, working as Patrol Sergeant and Sergeant Personnel Recruiting Unit. In 2004, she was promoted to rank of Lieutenant. In December of 2008, she was appointed Deputy Chief, Operations Support Division and North Patrol Division. And she was appointed Assistant Chief in August 2013, Support Operations Bureau. In addition to serving and protecting our community, She serves as an adjunct professor at the University of Texas at Arlington Criminal Justice Department, adjunct professor at Institute for Law Enforcement Administration, adjunct professor at Bill Blackwood Law Enforcement Management Institute of Texas at Sam Houston State University. She's received various professional awards and is a member of various affiliations. Proclamation 180 from the Texas State Senate, Senator Wendy Davis for promotion to Assistant Chief in 2013. Outstanding African American Alumni 2011, UT Arlington African American Alumni Association. Thurgood Marshall Heritage Award in Criminal Justice NAACP 2010. Officer of the Year 1999, Arlington Noon Optimist Club. Proclamation from City of Arlington Mayor's Office for official Loretta Hill Day, May 12, 1999. Community Service Award 1999, African American Chamber of Commerce. Rookie Officer of the Year and Officer of the Year, African American Peace Officer Association of Arlington. She's also a member of the National Black Police Association. She was educated at David W. Carter High School. She went on to the University of Texas at Arlington, where she received her bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice in 1993, and she holds a master's degree in liberal arts from TCU 2005. We are very lucky to have such a distinguished officer protecting our children and our community in Arlington, Texas. At this time, I would like to introduce Assistant Police Chief Loretta Hill.
Wow, I listened to that and I think back to when I was very young, growing up in Oak Cliff. And the people around me that surrounded me, if it was Little League, cheerleading, coaches, teachers, and all those people surrounding me that believed in me, that presented me with the knowledge that I can do anything, that I can absolutely achieve anything, that I put my mind and my heart to, and to have that support system. To hear that, it's all about those people who believed in me. And so I'm here today to talk about the collaboration and the efforts that the people in this room get. You're not the ones that don't get this. You get the fact that the youth are our future. It's our obligation and our responsibility as leaders, teachers, corporations, private sector partners. It is our obligation to make sure that we provide them an environment in which they can grow and they can achieve and they can dream. And their dreams can be fulfilled throughout their entire life. So I would like to thank you for inviting me. It was an honor to get it. I'm truly, truly humbled. And Cheryl, I've already threatened her. So if she ends up missing, she said, I just need you to come speak, and my group wants you to come speak at this small occasion. This is not a small occasion, Cheryl. But again, I am truly honored to be here. And when I was watching the salsa dancers, I was telling Dr. Cavazos, I said, I need to add something else to my bucket list. But once I take the class, I need to make sure I have plenty of Bengay to go along with it, because I don't move that way anymore. And most of us in this room don't either. So I'm going to talk to you real quick. Sometimes I go off script, but I do write stuff down to make sure I get back to the points that I need to cover. So bear with me. And I have a slight cold and allergy, but that happens when it's 70 degrees on Monday and 20 degrees on Friday. The Arlington Youth Alliance organization is an organization that cares about our children and their future. You each represent a key component in the success of our youth. You are the advocates. And I asked myself when I was getting ready to prepare, what is an advocate? And so when I looked up the definitions, the synonyms, and asked people, what do you believe an advocate is? I found the words like supporter, a backer, a campaigner, a promoter, and a believer. The word that resonates with me is a believer. When someone truly believes in someone, if you believe in that child and that youth and they know that you believe in them, they can venture out of their comfort zone. Whatever the challenges are in their home, in their school, in their neighborhood, if they have somebody that believes in him, they can venture out of that comfort zone and achieve amazing things. story after story after story, that when you truly believe in people and give them something tangible, a person to call, someone to talk to, regardless, they don't have to be your family members, just somebody in the community that reaches out and believes, then it is something to cherish as a child, as a youth. I had those people around me. You had those people around you, or you wouldn't be in this room. Nobody made it to this room without somebody believing in them. And I truly believe that it's much more than your organization commitment. Oh, we have to believe in the youth. We are the Arlington Youth Alliance. It's much more than that. It's deeply rooted in who you are. You just don't come overnight and say, all of a sudden I want to help youth. It has to be deep rooted in your soul, in your heart, to believe and want to help the youth of our nation, of Arlington, of this city, of this county. And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you anything to believe in somebody, to show them that you care about them. It costs you nothing. And we should do that, and you know that in this room. I'm going to tell, real quick, I'm going to tell you about a story. I had an opportunity. I've had a lot of great opportunities to do a lot of different things. I graduated from David W. Carter High School. Any Cowboys in the audience? No? Okay. We are proud David W. Carter High School, and it's in Oak Cliff. So I had an opportunity to be one of the marshals in the parade on Monday. And who knew back when I was raised in Oak Cliff, on Little League football, on the track team, going to art club in the summertime. We always had a park and recreation activities that we did the whole summer. They would have programs for the youth, so I remember that. Remember growing up, going through high school, nothing ordinary. I mean, nothing extraordinary about me. I wasn't the president of a student council, none of those things. I felt like I was just an average, everyday kid. But opportunities that started to open up to me, so as I got on my vehicle to go down that parade route, I was almost in absolute tears. I remember my mom and dad taking me to that MLK parade and watching those people on those cars to come down and say, oh, who is that? How did she get there? How do you be a judge? How do you be a business owner? How do you be an astronaut? As those labels on those cars came by when I was a child, thinking, who are these people that own those cars? They're us. Kids, that street was lined with thousands and thousands of kids and thousands of opportunities. Because they sat there from the ages of, I saw a baby as young as 2 months. We drove by a senior citizen home, and they brought the guests out on the porch. There were some in beds. There were some in wheelchairs. Probably 90s, probably even close to 100. So from 2 months to 100 years old, being a part of that. And to go back, I almost felt like full circle. I said, I am that child that's over there watching this parade, wondering, can I achieve what those people in those cars achieved? Yes, you know why? Because somebody invested in me and somebody believed in me. And you are those people in this room to invest and believe. So I'd like to take a few minutes, I've already taken a few, to talk to you about what are you doing to move the needle to build character and competencies in the youth. How will you leverage your partnerships to collaborate to truly make a difference? This year, obviously, is a significant year. It's the 50-year anniversary on the March on Washington. Dr. King spoke about racial and economic inequality that stifled the process of African Americans, and not just African Americans, if it stifled them, thus the progress of citizens throughout the country during the Civil Rights Movement. There are still some racial and economic challenges that still exist, but America's promise believes that at least if we get 4 of those 5 promises, this will address in our youth and mitigate some of those gaps between the racial and economic boundaries that we face. And I know everybody knows the promises, but we're going to talk about them. These promises are basic. They are absolutely fundamental, and they're needed for our youth to succeed. Caring adults, ongoing, secure, and positive relationships, not with just our parents, our guardians, our teachers, our mentors. I want to share a story about caring adults. I have a colleague, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind me mentioning her name, Stephanie Gillespie. And a lot of y'all in the room know Stephanie Gillespie. Who does? She is a marvelous, marvelous person, a huge heart. Stephanie is an officer, but that's just what she does from 8 to 5. Stephanie is an advocate for our children and our youth. Her mission, her ministry is to take God's word to where the children are. If it's the motels, she has motel ministry, she has hotel ministry, she has homeless ministries. She meets them where they are. They can't always get to us. So sometimes corporations and companies, you got to go to where they are. They can't get to you always. They don't have the means. They don't have the knowledge to find you. You have to go to where they are and meet them at the level, educationally, socially, where they are, to bring them where they need to be so they can fulfill their dreams. So Stephanie tells this, she has several kids that she mentors to, that she goes day in and day out, in and out of these motels. She's not in uniform. If you saw her today, you would have no idea Stephanie was a cop. Absolutely no idea. But this is part of her calling that allowed her to be able to go to these places and meet all these different youth and be able to serve them. So she sent a story to a lot of her friends about this specific kid that has her name written on the pillars of one of the motels because that's where she lived. Not because of anything she did, not because of any choice she made, choices her parents made, or economic, financially, drug, whatever it was, but that child had nothing to do with her situation. Absolutely nothing. And Stephanie said, we need to make sure that we reach those kids and show them that there is something else outside the motel walls. So this particular person, and she has several stories, but this one she is extremely proud of because this person is a part of her family. That person in the motel, barely going to school, no clean clothes, could barely read and write at the level she did, graduated from Baylor with a bachelor's degree and is on her way to UTA with a master's. This is the girl that lived in the motel in Arlington. That is a caring adult that put her life on hold to make sure that she is a part of the solution to what our youth need. The second principle, safe places. Youth need and deserve physically and emotionally to feel safe wherever they are. A healthy start. Healthy minds, healthy habits, equal healthy bodies. My mom always told me an idle mind is the playground for the devil. And if you think about it, if you don't have something to do, risky behaviors become a part of what you do. Bad choices. My 5-year-old will tell me, Mommy, I made a bad choice today, or a good choice. So we can start pretty early in them understanding what good choice and bad choice. But idle minds, that's why we have to fill those voids where they are. If they can come to centers, wherever we can serve them, we got them captured at school. Make sure that those minds are not just idle. We're filling them up with possibilities, with opportunities, so they know that they can achieve. And effective education, the fourth promise. We need to train and equip today's youth for tomorrow's careers by providing quality learning environments. And what AISD is doing is absolutely exciting. We're excited to be a part of it. We're excited to help law enforcement throughout. And law enforcement, as Dr. Bowman has always told me, and I know a lot of y'all know T. Bowman, as I was able to be given opportunities, I don't think I did anything. I was given opportunities, and people like T. Bowman, my mom, Dr. Bing from UTA, people like that prepared me for when that door opened, that you would be ready. That's what you do in this room, prepare that youth, so when it does open, that they will be ready to go through. So he would always tell me, to whom much is given, much is required. So you've been given this role, so you are accountable for those youth. You're accountable to those youth and to reach those youth. So whom much is given, much is required. Opportunities to help others, the fifth principle. Youth must understand that they contribute to a greater cause than themselves by volunteering and mentoring others. We all have to be here for a greater cause. It can't just be about us. Because if it's about you, then you lose focus of the bigger picture. So it's just not about us. It's not about you. And if it is, you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong business because it's about the youth, and it's about what we do to serve them to make them better. These 5 promises are all opportunities to collaborate with our public and private sectors and make a difference in the lives of our youth. To collaborate at its Latin root is to labor together. And when I think of labor, we don't always think very kindly or to labor, because to labor can mean it's very difficult, it's complex, it's drawn out, it's rigorous, and it's demanding. A lot of those words and adjectives really don't equate to somebody wanting to do it because they're going into something that's laborious. But organizations like the Alliance for Youth and the companies and the people that you represent here decided that no matter how hard and laborious the task may be, our youth are worth it. Their lives are worth it. Their well-being is worth it. Them feeling secure in their homes, in their schools, in their activities is worth it. The partners around the city, the Metroplex, the state, and even the country that help deliver America's promise simply get it. That if we make this emotional deposit and believe in our youth with the monetary investment of our partners, that those 2 investments are equally as important. But we need the businesses in the private sector to make those financial commitments to education, providing safe places, healthy environments. But we equally need those people in this room and all over to make those emotional investments. The emotional investments are just as important as the financial investments. A check can't tell you what a person can tell you about their experience. I can sit down and tell you about my experience, and you understand, and that check can't. But that check is important because it may provide the room that we had that conversation in. So those things are equally important. When we work together with this winning model, educational deposit, financial investment, we can move the needle toward bettering the future of our youth. Our obligation is to steer and lead the way for millions of youth. And then they lead the way for the next millions of youth and the next millions of youth to provide opportunity for them to exceed and achieve. We have a monumentous task, but are y'all up for it? Are we up for it? Absolutely. It takes everyday people like you, like me, to not settle just for the status quo. Somebody else is going to help them. Well, they got the Y in this neighborhood. They can't get to the Y in that neighborhood. It's up to us to go reach them where they are. But we have to change the direction of some of our youth. And in order to change the direction of some of our youth, my role, of course, I come into contact with them everywhere. And I consider myself a servant, an absolute servant. I chose a public service career. I'm a servant. I get a chance to talk to so many youth. Before they ever get involved in anything, the majority of them is way before they're involved in anything. But of course, if they're involved in anything, but I still take that opportunity to share my story, who I am, be transparent, take off what they believe is the guard that I have, and be Loretta to them so they can understand you too. You and anybody else can do anything you want. You may hit a bump in the road, but that doesn't change. That may just give you have to go a different direction, but that doesn't change your dream and your goal. So I always, when I get a chance to talk to teenagers, youth, children, to tell them achieve, dream big. I said I was going to be appointed to the Supreme Court. That was my big dream. I deferred it and went some other way, but I'm okay with that. That's too much work. So, but you know, that was something I dreamed big of. I would tell my mom and dad that all the time. That's what I was going to do. I was going to be appointed to the Supreme Court. And I'm okay. God has given me this. I don't think police work, I chose it, it chose me. It was my way to give back and my way to serve. So I didn't choose this career. This career chose me. And it was a calling for me to be a part of an organization in a city like this. So I ask, as I close, what are you doing to move the needle to build character and competencies in our youth? And we must do everything we can to meet them where they are and not expect them to have the resources to always come to us. And everybody's role is different. Everybody has some challenges now, but the investment that we make in our youth, and is investment for their future, the futures to come after that for the children and youth behind them. So this investment that we make is truly critical. We have to give them opportunities, we have to let them dream big, and we have to hold each other accountable for making it happen. Thank you for your time.
So I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about some of the programs that the Alliance is involved with today. But, you know, this has a chance to be what I would call information overload. So I'm going to start off here by just saying, you know what, I'm going to hit a lot of just the highlights on here, but I'm going to give you one thing to remember. And that one thing is the website. The website is called Arlington Alliance for Youth. Everything that we talk about today is actually, you're going to forget about it. But I'm hoping that maybe it'll spark a memory sometime down the road and you refer back to the website, because really all the information's there. We're a completely volunteer organization and we have to use a lot of electronic media to help organize, and this is our mechanism for being able to do that is the website. It's a very powerful website, but if you remember one thing from today, write it down, whatever, then this is what I'd like you to remember, and that is the website. There are plenty of opportunities for taking advantage of the grants that are out there, the different programs that are out there, and the website though is pretty much the driver for all that information if you don't have a chance to talk to one of us. Now, first of all, two of the programs that we're involved with are actually covered by this event that we're at today. So the Youth Collaboration Breakfast is an opportunity for various members of the Arlington community to get together to recognize the small grant winners. And it's really wonderful because we have members of the city, we have members of the school district, we have members of faith-based organizations, service-based organizations, and even a few businesses. And these are all together because they're passionate about helping to develop the children of our community. And we're here to recognize that, and those are touching upon two of the programs that we're involved with. And so Youth Collaboration Breakfast is the event where we get to recognize this. And then the Small Grants Program is actually what's happening before we get to this event. So the Small Grants Program is the mechanism that we use basically to help let groups facilitate being able to do the projects that they're helping the community. So those are actually two of the programs that are covered by this particular event. I want to recognize Wendy Carrington is the chair of our Youth Collaboration Breakfast. She's the one in charge of putting this all together. And Dr. Harold Smith is the chair of our Small Grants Committee. So he's responsible for the processing of the applications, making sure all the paperwork's in, awarding the recipients, and just making sure that the funding is taken care of for the individual projects. So that's two of our programs that we cover, that the Alliance is involved with today. The next one I wanted to mention is, so we're talking about projects and some of the groups today, but the next event that we actually do is called the Extra Mile Award. And what the Extra Mile Award is actually an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the leaders, the youth that are impacting the youth in the community, and it's there to recognize those leaders. We have a luncheon, it's called the First Rate Living Luncheon, that's held once a year, and this year it'll be held April 10th. And this is a chance for everybody to get together that's serving youth in the community to honor, celebrate, and then also actually give out some awards and prizes to those leaders to recognize them for their contribution. Again, the website's going to have The application process, there are two different categories. There's one for volunteers and then one for paid staff. But you have the ability to go onto the website, nominate some leader within your organization, and they have an opportunity to be honored and then also to receive an award. So I would encourage you to, again, check the website and get some more details on that. Probably the biggest event that we have is what's called Global Youth Service Day, and then this year that's going to be April 12th. And many of I think many of the groups that are represented here have participated in that in years past. Well, Arlington Alliance for Youth is again the lead agency for that particular event, and we'll be holding that April 12th. And you can go ahead and start forming coalitions today to actually do projects during Global Youth Service Day, and then we have a celebration at the Levitt Pavilion in the afternoon. And so we would encourage everybody to go in and do that. It's a great event to kind of, even if you're just out driving in the community that day on the 12th, you'll see a lot of different groups out there doing projects. And it's kind of nice to just kind of concentrate that on one day to show how we're improving Arlington. The other thing that we do is we partner with UTA, and they have a similar event that they call the Big Event. Those are some of the programs that we're involved with. Again, I would refer you to the website to get more details on that. The other thing I would want to mention is that's on the website that's available to you outside of the programs is there's some great resource links to be able to, if you're looking for just resource information, there's some great links out there that have been placed. There's also a list of speakers. So if you're interested and you're putting on an event and you would like a speaker on some topic related to youth, we have a list of speakers out there that have actually registered out on our site, and we have a list and it has what they talk about, has their contact information, and you're able to utilize that to be able to help fulfill some of the functions that you have amongst your own programs. And so anyway, that was just a brief, like I said, a brief review of some of the programs. We're always interested in more ideas. If you look for the criteria that we're looking for the things that we want to be involved with, they have to have 3 criteria. Number 1, it has to be in Arlington. You know, we're very local. We're not trying to do stuff in Dallas and Fort Worth. We want to be in Arlington. It has to be youth focused. And that's something that we like helping adults, but the program itself has to be youth are involved. And then the third thing, it needs to be addressing the 5 promises. So we look for those 3 things, and those are the kinds of things that we'd love to be involved with. The last thing actually I wanted to do was to recognize the board members. So I'm going to start over here. We have Dr. Harold Smith. We have Dave Turney, who is our treasurer. We have Stephanie Brown. We have Cheryl Carpenter, who is one of our vice presidents. We have Steve Willey. We have Amira Jami, who isn't able to be here. We have Lieutenant Carol Riddle from the Arlington Police Department. We have Dr. Carrie Tunson. We have Don Henry, Tavian Harris, Idalina Yoakum, Sheila Sutton, and then we also have a couple of people that help us. Ken Perkins helps us with our PR and some of the newsletter materials, and then we have Chris Wood, who helps us out with the website. So he's very instrumental in helping us with the website. So thank you very much for your time, and hope you get a chance to check out the website at some point in time.
In closing, and listening to the inspirational words of Chief, I want to tell a quick story. In 1996, a young professional came bebopping into Arlington, looking for a chance to teach. And that young professional was me. And throughout that time, I've been able to make Arlington a home, to build a family, to raise children who go to the school, our Arlington ISD school district. When we talk about being able to be an inspiration and a mentor to our youth and to our young people in Arlington, we never know who we are going to touch and where that life is going to lead. I would like to selfishly acknowledge my mentor, Dr. Harold Smith, who has been my mentor throughout that time as the first person that gave me a job in Arlington, to being a professor of mine at UTA, and just a constant support as I progressed through my career. And now being able to be the Director of Parent and Community Engagement with Arlington ISD, I'm able to put the tools and the resources and the knowledge and the skill sets that he provided me into literal usage every day. It's a privilege to serve among you in helping to support and promote the youth of our city. Thank you for all of that you do. Thank you for breaking bread with us this morning. And thank you, thank you, thank you. We will see you around the community. Have a great day.